Hi, we're going to take a quick look at a simple sync from PSQuote to RLM quotes, RLM being Salesforce Revenue Lifecycle Management. So first thing we do is start with an opportunity. We will create a PSQuote. You could initiate this process from an existing RLM quote if you wanted to. There's a variety of ways you could kick this off, but we'll do this way. So we'll go ahead and create the PSQuote. We'll add a couple offerings. So we have a quick start offering and then custom scope. So the quick start comes in with predefined roles, rates, hours, which you can modify if you want. The custom scope, I'm going to add in some hours here. All right, let's save that. Okay, so now we have a PS quote for 122,000 with the roles and hours breakdown here. There's other features in PS quote I'm not going to go into here around tasks and the weekly LOE schedule. So if you want to spread out the hours or allocate a lumpy schedule for your resources, you can do that. But what I wanted to show here is, once you have a PS quote you're happy with, there's a sync to RLM quote button. Okay, so that worked. Let's take a look at this opportunity. So now let's take a look at the quote. So this quote was just created. In this environment, I have it set up so it creates a new RLM quote, links it back to my PS quote. In real life, you could set this up so that it could push to an existing RLM quote. In this case, it created an RLM quote and then it automatically added 2 quote line items here. And then it pulled in the price for my PS quote. So one thing to note here is that it also, if I take a look at the quote line, so if I look at this quote line item, there's a link back to my PS quote line. So this relationship could go this way where it looks up to PS quote, the PS quote line, and also vice versa from the PS quote line to the RLM quote line item. And then this would give you the traceability to say, okay, this $47,000 of custom scope services, where did that come from? What is that made up of? And the answer would be in PS quote, you would have all the detail of things like, the roles, hours, schedule, if you have tasks, that sort of thing. So, and then of course on your RLM quote, you could, let's go back here to our opportunity. All right. So here I have the service lines. You could, of course, have other products on your RLM quote that are not for professional services or managed services, software, hardware, what have you. So there could be other product line items that live on this same RLM quote. So, and then also, in this environment, I don't have it configured, but if you do want to have something like changing the price or discounting here, have that pushed back to PS quote, that could be done as well. That's a pattern that we've seen before where PS quote and CPQ quotes interact with one another. All right, thanks.